Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hormone Helper podcast. I'm Coach Andrew, your hormone helper from Fit for All Fitness. I personally coach over 1,600 men and women to help better understand their hormones so they can lose weight and get their metabolism back on track. With this podcast, you're going to hear from me and my special guests about everything from metabolism to thyroid to weight loss. And we even talk a little bit of sexy time as we chat to spread more knowledge thick like butter on your hormones. If you're ready to learn, I'm ready to share, so let's do this. Hello, everybody. Coach Andrew here, and welcome back to the Hormone Helper podcast. Today is a lovely day filled with sunshine, and for once, and I'd say about probably 2 or 3 days, there's no flurries, there's no deep darkness or rain, and I'm looking at that like, yes, this is really great. And I'm super pumped because me and Lorna spent this weekend going through basically every single week from now until like January 15th, I think. And we sorted out all the stuff that we're going to do for holidays. So all of the family events, all of the times where we're going to be going over to this person's, and then the friend outings that we have. We've got a couple of groups that we're a part of that we're starting to build some friendships that actually have like husband and wife partnerships. So we're sharing dual friends, which is great. And in going through all of this, I'm looking through like ahead of all of the like 8 to 10 weeks, I would say, of stuff that we have planned. And I'm super pumped. And I was sharing this over the weekend with a couple of friends. And I was met with a lot of like, we're not pumped. We're actually totally overwhelmed. We have no idea what to do. We're worried that we're going to be putting things on the wayside. And I was like, well, wait, slow down. Like, what do you guys mean exactly? And I think the general consensus, especially around this time of year, is that when you get to holiday season, when you get from like mid-November all the way to like February 1st, it's just a complete write-off of everything. It's a write-off of your regular schedule and routine. It's a write-off of your kids' calendar because there's either different events that they have to go to, or school years are ending, or Christmas vacation comes up. And then it's a write-off from a health perspective for most people because they're like, I can kiss goodbye my regular workout routine. I can kiss goodbye the times that I have to make changes with my nutrition or be able to meal prep. And I can basically write off any type of habit that I have that puts time and fills my cup back for me. That's kind of what people think. But when I take a look at someone's routine over the holidays or even coming into the new year, especially when I'm looking at routines of clients, which is really what this podcast episode is about. It's about kind of the habits and habit stacking and ways that you can build out your routine together to actually make it stick. Because ultimately, when we go into holidays or when our routine changes, this isn't just like a holiday episode. I don't want you to think these next couple of episodes is all about holidays. It's not. This is relevant now, and it's relevant anytime you have seasonal change through your year. Seasonal change is essentially, I'm not talking about the rain changes from summer and fall. What I'm talking about from seasonal change is you're going to have periods in your year in which your schedule, your routines, and your habits are going to be challenged and tested, and they're actually going to change. You're going to have to do something different, or you're going to have to find a way to do the same thing consistently, but maybe in a different way. So the reason why it doesn't really get to me is because I have a really good structure, a structure in which I call habit stacking, which makes my routine stick over the holidays. I don't have any issue when it comes to my workouts. I don't have any issue when it comes to having my meal prep times or my cook times. I don't have any challenges when it comes to leaving my 3 times a week hour that I can refill my cup. I managed to get all my cold plunges in, and people are like, well, how do you do that? How do you do that and still run your coaching company? How do you do that and still have time for your family? Some people that I speak with are like, it's easy because you don't have kids. But there are a lot of people who don't have kids that have consistent routines, can get their workouts in all the time, have no issue eating healthy, even through the holidays. And even when things change like work schedules or kid schedules, they seem to make everything stick and make it get it. And this is what I really want to talk about today, is essentially like how to build a proper habit in a way that's going to stick longer than just 60 days. Because traditionally speaking, for a habit, 60 days is the longest that like a habit goes before it actually like irons out and becomes something long-term in your life. Now, you're going to hear tons of different people that say a habit is built anywhere from 32 days upwards to 65 days. The biggest thing with a habit is not the amount of days, but actually how you feel in doing the habit, which then becomes something that your body asks for daily. And that's exactly what you want from a habit. So I want to share this with you because it really helped a couple of my clients this week in holiday prep. But I don't want you to see this as just holiday prep. These habit changes and this habit stacking tool that I'm going to go through with you guys on this episode is really about making changes to habits anytime at any point in the year so you can always stay on track with your health, with your fitness, with your digestion, with your work schedule, with your kids' schedule. It doesn't matter. So here we go. We're going to dive right into this. So a proper habit has essentially 4 pieces in order for the habit to be something that is realistic, maintainable, and can be consistent long-term. The first is a cue. So this is the initial reminder of what you want to accomplish. A cue is something that appears immediately. It's something that starts the process of the habit, so that way the body can actually start to do the thing that you want it to do. The second piece is called a craving. It is a feeling, it is a pull or a movement, or some people would say motivation or desire that causes you to not avoid the cue. So if you're saying to yourself, actually, I'll give examples later, but every single habit needs to have a craving. There needs to be real desire behind that to actually want to do the thing, because if there's no desire, you're just going to avoid whatever the cue is to actually start the habit you're trying to make. Then it's followed by an action. The action is literally the thing that you do. So a task, a process, could be a tool to get the end results done. And actions can then be combined with something you're already doing. The third piece is the response, how that habit makes you feel. So then you can repeat it. A habit should make you feel good. If a habit doesn't make you feel good, what is the likelihood of you repeating it? Now, to dig deeper into this cue, craving, action, and response, I want to break down each individual one. I want to use a live example. So let's say you're having a hard time getting your workouts in. So number one, first thing that we look for is the cue. If you're trying to get workouts in and you are not exercising currently and you're like, I want to get my workout first thing in the morning, then a cue is something that you want to make really obvious and that becomes an immediate reminder of when you wake up. So what I would recommend somebody does is go and sleep with your workout gear on. You're like, oh, Andrew, that's crazy. You probably sleep with pajamas. So it's the same shit, really, right? So go and sleep with your workout gear on. The moment you wake up, you have an immediate initial reminder. You're wearing your workout clothes. The reminder is so obvious because it's literally on your body. And you're like, got it. Here's my reminder to work out. You could do another cue. The cue could be adding in a timer alongside your wake up. So when you wake up, 15 minutes from when you wake up, you get that reminder on your phone that says time to work out. And in combination, you have that other cue of already wearing your workout gear. The cue, if it's obvious enough, it absolutely is the initial start that puts immediate focus on the thing that you want to do. Most people do not have a cue that is obvious enough to keep a habit in their routine. And that is why it's really hard for them to be consistent with things like workouts, with their nutrition, with anything that they're doing health-wise, because they don't have the thing that's giving them the initial reminder. And let's be real, life gets busy. You have to move a meeting because of work. You've got to go pick up kids from some type of a tournament or from school. And then you get back home and you completely forget what it is that you were trying to accomplish that day. So we make the cue that initial reminder. The second thing is now the craving. The craving is that feeling that creates non-avoidance. Many people want to put something into their habit, into their routine, a habit into their routine, because they feel that it's something that I believe I should have in there. So using our workouts for an example, if someone's like, well, every single person I watch on social media wakes up at 6 a.m. and does a workout, but you're not excited about that, you're not looking forward to that, you don't desire that, you actually have really low energy in the morning, then are you actually going to have a desire or an excitement to do that thing? No. As a matter of fact, you're probably going to actively avoid it because truthfully, it's not something that's in alignment with you. And that's the second thing that people get wrong when keeping a habit into their routine is they have a habit that is not in alignment with them. You want to work out at 6 a.m., but your body doesn't feel great. It doesn't jive with your schedule. And you're like, it's not in alignment with me because I loved working out at 5:30 p.m. Great. Figure out how to get more 5:30 p.m. workouts, not earlier workouts. Because every single time we create something of non-avoidance, our body wants us to avoid things that make us feel uncomfortable. So if the workouts make us feel uncomfortable, we'll avoid it. If eating healthy makes us feel uncomfortable, we'll avoid it. If meal prep or uncertainty around food as we're preparing stuff, is it right? I'm not sure if I have the right portions. Am I eating enough? Am I eating the right foods? Am I going to see results? All of that is uncertainty, which creates avoidance. So even if you have a cue, a reminder, something that sets you to consciously focus on it, you might consciously avoid it anyways. So we want to make sure that we're doing it with the right intention and with the right alignment. Next is the action. When we look at actually doing a habit, so the action could be a task that we've got to do, could be a process, could be a tool to get your end results done. So maybe you have a training program for your workouts that you can just open up. That's combined with something that we're already doing. Many people keep actions separate when they're trying to make habits, and it's really hard. So for example, if you have never worked out before, you can't make an action of working out 6 days a week because you've never done this before and it's probably too much. It's very overwhelming. It's not realistic. And so you fall short of the bar and it makes you feel like crap and then you avoid it and then you stop looking at your cues. So how could we create the action of working out regularly, something that's easy to maintain? Well, number one would be already preparing a workout plan or having a coach create a workout plan for you. So now you're like, got it. I have my plan here. So you wake up, you're wearing the workout gear. You get the notification to do the workout. You go down into your basement or wherever you're exercising. And now the action becomes made easier when you open up that workout plan and you're like, got it. All I have to do is follow along here. You make the action really simple for you to do, even if it's just baby steps. So you know what's even simpler than creating a workout plan and then opening it up 6 days a week? How about just walking every day? If you've never exercised, walk every day. Walk 5,000 steps, then walk 7,000 steps, then walk 10,000 steps. You do that, you're still going to see progress. You're going to feel good. You're going to feel confident in what you're doing. And here's the key with the action is it's followed by the last thing, which is response. How does your body respond to the action that you're doing? So for most of our clients, when they come to me and they're like, I'm trying to lose weight And every single time I make changes with my nutrition and my training, I don't see a result. What do you think the response is that their body feels? Negativity, frustration, could be sadness, could be anger, but it's all negative. So if they do all of the right things, if they're working out, if they're eating healthy, but the response is negative, then that's met with avoidance for the next time. It's met with hesitation for the next time. It's met with uncertainty for the next time. Because at the end of the day, the body wants to repeat things that makes it feel good. So when we're doing an action, we need to start really small. I tell all my clients, you got to start super small, whether it's walking every single day, or if you've never changed up your food before, how about just working on getting 3 meals a day? Keep it super simple, because when you do it, what happens is your body builds evidence that you can succeed in something. It says to itself, maybe I haven't worked out before every single day, but I have walked every day, and walking is a form of workout. So I believe that I can transition that into activity. I believe I can transition 2 of those days into exercising or working out or doing some type of a strength training. So we practice shooting at little targets, and we get mini successes. And those successes give us a response of confidence. It makes us feel good, and that is met with a self-reward. The body gets a hit of dopamine, and dopamine is so powerful if used right. Dopamine is addicting, but it's the only self-addiction inside your body. If you structure your workouts to make you feel good every single time you do your workouts, what are the chances you're going to miss another workout routine? Never, because it makes you feel good. So prime example in my life is my morning routines. My cold tub, my working out, followed by my hot shower and my journaling, all of them make me feel great. After I come out of that, I don't need coffee. I don't need a stimulant. I have a higher amount of energy. My knees don't hurt because my inflammation is significantly reduced. So if it makes me feel physically good, if it makes me feel mentally good, I'm also going to feel emotionally good because I just cleared my mind to start the day. I'm firing on all cylinders because I feel great. Now, what are the chances of me repeating that? Well, don't I want to feel great every day? I'm probably going to repeat it. And this is where, if you ever speak to someone who's like, I don't know, like, I just do the workouts because I love it. Like, it just makes me feel good. This is how they do it in a way that's like, oh, okay, that's why they keep doing it, because it makes them feel good. It's funny because like some of our clients too, it clicks in just like that. They've never done activity before, and then the first 2 to 3 weeks in, they're like, I actually really love this. Like, it makes me feel great. Cool. Now it's in your life forever. Same thing with the food. People are so surprised. Food can make you feel really good. If you eat and you don't feel bloated afterwards, and typically you're bloated, you're going to feel good. If you eat and it actually fills your hunger and you're not hungry anymore, and you're someone who would have random hunger or random cravings for sugar and salt, you're going to feel great. And you're like, oh, awesome. I actually haven't had a single craving today. That's great. Being headache free, being well hydrated, not having a high level of fatigue. These are things you can get by just changing your food. So if you do that and your body gets evidence that it's like, hey, this can be positive, you have a higher chance of now repeating this process. Now, here's what I will say about the response. Here's where people go wrong with the response, is they do something for the sake of just the goal. And sometimes when you hit a goal, you actually don't feel the way you thought you would about it. So a prime example of this, I had a client about 2 years ago who, when she didn't have great friends. And her friends always used to say, hey, you know what? Like, you don't look great. They would always make comments about her physical self. So she never shared this with me at that time, but she initially started and was like, I want to lose weight because I have a pre-diabetic condition and it's really important to me. So I thought we were on the same page. And then Afterwards, she loses the 40 pounds. I'm like, oh my God, aren't you so excited? And she literally broke down and cried. She's like, no, I'm not excited, because I went and I showed my friends who I haven't seen in like 6 months. And literally they were just making comments about my body. And that's exactly why I did this. So sometimes you can do the right action. You can get a good response, get a good result, but not feel the response that you think you should feel. And this is why I want to bring this up with habits, especially around this time of year. Many of us do things because we feel that we have to. I feel uncomfortable being overweight. I'm seeing stuff on social media. I'm hearing different comments. I'm feeling fear. I'm feeling anxiousness around how I look and my weight. So I'm going to lose weight to appease that anxiousness. That's actually not something that's going to have a positive response. Anything that is driven out of fear, that's driven out of anxiety, out of resentment, is actually not something that makes you feel fulfilled at the end. And it's crazy to me that the health industry has people still trying to sign people up with fear, trying to sign people up with anxiety, trying to push people into doing things to make them feel uncomfortable. Yes, I believe that everyone should be the best versions of themselves. I believe that everyone should take action. And I also think that coaches should help people level up. And that requires change. Change is always uncomfortable. But the uncomfortability that comes from negativity is different than the uncomfortability that comes from growth. When I work with clients, they're uncomfortable, but they're excited. They're like, hey, I've never done this before, but I'm so pumped. And I'm like, that's amazing. Or, okay, so I just bought all the groceries and I'm looking at them and I'm like, ooh, I'm nervous, but like I'm so excited to get started. Like that's the excitement of growth. That's the uncertainty of growth, but it feels good. Versus if someone's response is, oh, you know what, like I'm just so desperate to lose the weight, like I'll do anything. I'll buy the groceries. I'm looking at them. I really hope that this is the thing. I really hope this is the last change I make with my food to help me lose the weight. That's not something that's actually going to encourage you to make a consistent habit long term. And I'm using a lot of health and fitness stuff from the habits, but this cue, craving, action, and response is literally designed to create and make any habit, any habit. It doesn't matter. If you want a habit of saving money, as an example, what's the cue? The cue is every time you get a paycheck. Look at when you get your paycheck, create the cue. Perfect. Every time I get a paycheck, I'm going to set a reminder on my phone to automatically transfer money. Now, what is the craving? The desire. The desire is I want to save. I know why I want to save. I know why that's important to me. Maybe it's a holiday coming up. Cool. You have proper alignment with the craving. So what is the action? The action, you make it super simple. Every time your paycheck comes into your account, you auto transfer. You can go to the bank and set this up, auto transfer, and move just a couple $100 aside. And the response is after 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, you're looking at this number grow and grow and grow, depending on how much you're shelling aside, and you're going to feel good. You're going to get excited that you're closer to that thing. This can be used with any habit. But here's where the seasonal change and where the holiday change can really throw people up. Most people over holidays and seasonal change, their cues change. So either a shift in their schedule means that they have to move things around and they stop giving themselves reminders, or they start doing things with what I call struggled action, and they're actually not in alignment with why they're doing something. So from a workout perspective, if someone truly doesn't feel good working out in the morning, they shouldn't be working out in the morning. It's about listening to your body. I don't care if you want to look at the 4-hour work week or waking up at 4 a.m. It's not about being a David Goggins special. It's about doing what works right for you. So if you feel that avoidance, if you're feeling resistance to doing something over the holidays, you need to sit down and ask yourself why. Why am I feeling resistance to this thing that I used to do? Why am I feeling resistance to the workouts? Why am I feeling resistance when it comes to taking time to go shopping for my vegetables instead of buying them out? Why am I feeling resistance when it comes to going to bed at 9 a.m.? What is it about that I'm avoiding? Am I avoiding it because it's difficult? Am I avoiding it because I'm procrastinating? Am I avoiding it because could be maybe you don't actually believe it's going to do anything for you? Which, who's guilty of that? I know I am. How many times I've avoided something because deep down in my stomach's like, if I do that, I don't know if it's actually going to change something. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. You don't know if you try. Now, here's how to break down a habit in a way that is going to be sustainable and pretty much guarantees that you keep this habit in your lifetime long term. Doesn't matter what season, what change happens in your life, work, kids, doesn't matter. If you reverse engineer the habits like this, you're going to see that all of your day-to-day routines become very structured and become very simple for you to implement. I say simple, I never say easy, because I believe easy means that there's not going to be friction. Sometimes there's friction, and friction is where change happens. So really, really simple. So number one, we want to start with the response. We're actually reverse engineering a habit, essentially. We go, how do I want to feel from this result? How do I want to feel? So an example of this, if you want to lose 20 or 30 pounds of weight, great. How do you want to feel from the weight loss? Do you want to feel happy? Do you want to feel sexy? Do you want to feel confident? Do you want to be fulfilled? What is it about that you want to feel? If you're not clear on what the finish line looks like, how can you run to it? And so many of us put something in our routine to just start running and not know where the finish line is with this. So what is that finish line? What is the feeling that we're searching from this? If it's, for example, fatigue, you're like, I'm super tired now. I want to have energy and I want to wake up with mental clarity and not have any brain fog. That's amazing. You know exactly what you want from the result. So then when you have the response, you have the way that you want to feel, you need to say, for what I want to accomplish, what is the action that I want to get done? Is there an action that I'm not doing? And the action should be really, really small. We often look for these really big moving parts. Workout 6 days a week, meal prep for 3 hours every day, going to bed at 8 p.m. every day when we're going to bed at 11:30. That's not realistic. So start with the smallest action you can. What can I realistically do right after I finish writing it down? What is it? Is it something as simple as, like, let's say, for example, the action that you want to get is you want to eat 3 meals a day because you don't. Great. How about you start with something like, I just want to make sure that no matter what, non-negotiable, I have all my protein that I need for the day. Perfect. Then you can work up to, I'm going to make sure I have all 3 meals. Then you can continue to build on that. This is where we stack our habits, where we put everything together. Now, when we have the action, this is where we look at, what is it about this that is making us avoid it? Why are we already not doing it? It's important for us to recognize the avoidance. Many of the people that I work with avoid weight loss. Weight loss and digestive, and digestive issues is our kind of our two top challenges that we see. Many people avoid the weight loss because, one, they don't believe that they can get there. They're like, you know what? I've tried 6 or 7 different things. Weight loss might not be for me. Maybe I just can't get there, and that's fine. They don't buy it. So if you don't buy into it, you're not really going to do the actions. Or the second thing is many of them don't actually want it. They're guilted and feared on a regular basis for it to be on their radar, but they don't actually personally want it. And to that, I say this: don't do something because someone else tells you you should do it. Do something because you feel that it is in your best interest and that you, by doing it, you will see a better result or you will be a better person. If you do it that way, you will always lead a high motivation, action taking life because you're doing things that matter. What I'll say to that. So, from a response perspective, from a craving perspective, we look at, why am I avoiding it? If you go through the avoidance, you're going to find that typically it comes down to lack of inspiration or lack of clarity. If you literally boil it down, keep asking yourself why. There's a great tool. It's amazing. Actually, maybe I'll drop it in the actually, no, I won't, because it's really not like a tool. It's just basically called 7 Levels of Why, where if you're not doing something or if you haven't achieved something you want in your life, ask yourself why 7 times for that thing. So, why am I not losing weight? You're going to get an answer because I don't have the tools with nutrition, or I don't have the accountability to do it. Why do you feel you don't have the tools and the accountability? Keep asking yourself 7 layers of why. Most people can only get to 2 to 3 layers. But when you get to the 7th layer, you get literally 1 to 2 words, which is the truest reason as to why you don't do something. And I can tell you, it always boils down to one of these two, or sometimes both of these two: lack of direction and clarity. I don't know what to do. I literally don't know what to do. So if I don't know what to do, I don't want to make a mistake. Now, even if you know what to do, you can have lack of clarity, where I know what to do, but I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know why I'm focusing on my weight. I don't know why I'm trying to improve this. I feel that I should make $1 million, so maybe my goal should be $1 million. You're not clear as to why you want to accomplish something. So from a weight perspective, going back to my example, if someone doesn't know why they want to lose the weight, they don't know why it's important to them, they're not clear on what weight loss looks like afterwards, how they want to look, how they want to feel, how they want to experience life, well, then of course the action is going to be based off of nothing. It's based off of fluff. So every time they see a cue, they're just not going to care enough to do it. And that's the secret. The non-avoidance piece comes from, how much do you care about the thing? Only then, when you do all of those things in that order, do you then work on, what is the first thing that can remind me of it? Now, from a cue perspective, I tell everyone the easiest cues now, especially with technology, is using your phone, using timers, using your calendar. So like, as an example for me, when it comes to food, I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner in my calendar. Not because I don't eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but it is my cue, because sometimes I could be so busy that I skip over it. After I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner in my calendar, I set 15-minute reminders before breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So when I get the reminder, I go, got it, it's breakfast time. Got it, it's lunchtime. It puts it in the beginning of my mind. And then I even do an additional cue where sometimes, if I'm back to back when it comes to a food thing, I've already prepped the meal containers, but I leave a little sticky note on the fridge. Lunch is there. That's all I put. Lunch is there. So when I come down and I'm like, oh, got it, sticky note, I don't even have to read it because I know what I wrote on the sticky note. And I'm like, you know what? I really should do lunch because lunch is there. I make it super easy. Super easy. Why is the food important to me? It's important to me because I have a desire to feel good. I'm doing everything in my power to wake up feeling the best every single day. My actions of my meal prep, my actions of my Thursday grocery shopping at the meat place that's here in Simcoe, or not the meat place, the local grocer market that's there. I love the fact that we have a grocer's market like 2 minutes from my house. It's literally a godsend, but like that makes the habit so much easier. And the response is when I eat good food, it makes me feel good. Vice versa, when I eat bad food, it actually makes me feel so bad that it reinforces the habit of me eating healthy. Every time I go out, I'm like, oh man, I really felt like crap when we went out to dinner with friends. All the more reason why I need to make sure that I'm eating healthy at home. This is how you build a habit that sticks. It's how you build a habit that makes you consistent. Now, there's one final piece to this, and I'll say this in literally like 2 or 3 minutes for you guys and gals. It's called habit stacking. You want to put a new habit and try to combine it with one that is already existing. So a great example of this would be like, I was going to say breakfast. It's not breakfast. Your bathroom. There we go. So B, close enough. Bathroom routine. When we go to the washroom, typically first thing in the morning, you're going to brush your teeth, you're going to wash your face, you're going to take a shower, and you're going to get dressed and start your day. You have a habit because you do all those three. All those three are in proximity of each other. All of those three have similar cues, and all of them have a response that is automatic and that you can just continue. So if I want to add something into that routine, like a skincare routine, why would I add the skincare routine in the middle of my day? It doesn't make sense. It means I have to make a separate trip to the washroom. It's not guaranteed. I won't have a reminder, and it's probably hard for me to put it there. So instead, what if I were to brush my teeth, wash my face, do my skincare routine, take my shower, put on my clothes? By inserting that action right with things I'm already doing, I'm reinforcing the chance of me doing it. And this is one of the most genius things which I think 2 weeks ago, I had shared with a client, and he was mesmerized. He was like, that's a great idea. I should literally just find something. So he had built a workout hut outside, which I love, by the way. His workout hut is amazing. It's like a personal shed for workouts, but he built a workout hut. And he's like, I don't know, for some reason, I have this workout hut, but I'm not using it. So I'm like, okay, great. So besides that cue of sleeping with your workout gear on, of setting the timer, how about when it comes to the morning, you're literally going to like workout, shower. Like that is the cue of shower. If you don't get the workout in, you don't shower. You don't complete the rest of the habit process. And he was like, I did that for 2 days. And when I didn't take the shower because I didn't get the workout in the morning, the third day, the habit absolutely happened. And then he was like, yeah, you know what? Now I'm working out every morning because I literally want the shower. Like that's for me. Now, the positive is his workout makes him feel good now. And now when he takes the shower, he feels fully rested and then he can start his day. But the habit stacking piece is about putting something already existing and working well in your routine beside a new habit. So that way you can combine the two or make the new habit easier to start. And that's a big thing. So hopefully you guys got some value from this when it comes to what a proper habit looks like, how to use a proper habit, and habit stacking. I will reinforce, kind of the end of this. Do not chase the result, okay? Because if you're just chasing results, then once the result is done, there's no incentive for your body to keep the habit. Chase the feeling, embody the feeling, continue to feel good after you're doing something, because even if something changes in your life, your work routine, you're going to want the feeling of feeling good. Your routine with your kids, you're going to want the feeling of feeling confident. You're going to follow the feeling instead of following the result. That's what makes habits stick, and that's what makes them maintainable. Now, when it comes from a habit piece, habits is one of the biggest, I would say, probably 20% of our group coaching modules that we go under is habit stacking, habit management, breaking what we call the habit wheel, which is essentially an 11 wheel figure process, which goes into this in greater detail. It is a huge piece because there's no point in changing food or changing workouts or changing your sleep if 12 weeks later, you're not actually going to have it integrated into your routine. So habits is a big thing that we focus on. And remember, if you were listening to last week's episode, we have our Black Friday promotions that goes on literally until December 3rd. So this is like 28, 29, 30, 7 days, literally a full week before the Black Friday promotion goes on. So if you're someone who, before the Black Friday promotion ends. So if you're someone who's struggling with their exercise, struggling with their food, if you're having a hard time making habits and a routine something that is sustainable for you, something that actually excites you, then I would encourage you to go into the show notes, click on that link for the Black Friday promotions, and then take a look at what's involved in both the Hormone Reboot program, which would be great, or the Vantage Group Coaching program. Those are two great options. They're going to be on until December 3rd at midnight, and they're literally 30% off now. So what a great opportunity to do that. For those of you who can't click show notes, because some of you guys listen to Apple Podcasts and stuff, it's literally going to be www.fit4allfitness.com/Black Friday 23. That's it. Black Friday 23. Really, really simple, really easy. As I say that, I'm like, it is Black Friday 23? My goodness, I'm just a riot. Yep, it is. Ha! Amazing. I remember our own URL. That is great. We have so many links to things sometimes. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but Black Friday 23, it is going to be there. So as long as you click the link and the link works, it pulls something up. It doesn't say, hey, tough luck, you missed it, then those promotions are available. It will lead you to book a discovery call with me. That way I can learn a little bit about your goals, and hopefully we can help support you from there. That is all for this episode, and catch you guys later. Take care. Well, it seems I'm all out of info juice for today. That's all for this episode, and thank you so much for listening. Please leave a raving review for me if you've learned something good, and make sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss an episode. Now, if you're in the mood for some more great content and tools to get your hormones on track, why not check out our free Facebook group and the blog on our site? We do amazing weekly trainings in our group that me and my wife call Tea and Teachings that give good tips for anything hormones and metabolism related. It's also a great community where you get to share your goals and success with like-minded people just like you. I'll make sure to drop both the Facebook group link and the blog link in the show notes for you. Or if you're ambitious like me, the name of the group is Weight Loss and Balanced Hormones. It'll say Fit for All beside it with a picture of me. So come and join us and have more fun.